All right, so let's see. Here we go. I'm a programmer, not a public speaker, but thank you all for coming to our third Futo conference. Um, you know, I guess also I just want to say a special thanks to Ian and Peter who made this happen. I mean, especially Ian. He's really, I think, he's in the other room, so he can't hear your applause, but he's the one who really kind of bore all the anxiety of making sure that everything was taken care of. So thanks to Ian, and again, thanks to all of you for coming. So I'm just going to briefly, I don't want to take a lot of time here, but I do want to kind of just, give you, I started Futo, so I wanted to kind of start give you, like, why did I do this? Like, I want to give you a bit of the, kind of the history of the internet from my perspective. So, in 1996, I'm in grad school, and, the internet was really becoming awesome at that point. Like, and it was very exciting. And you kind of hear these stupid platitudes like the world is at your fingertips, or the information is at your fingertips, whatever. Like the real key to the internet was that anybody could publish. That was the key to the internet. Anybody could publish. It was like everybody in like my grad school could set up a web page or whatever. I, as a software developer who liked, I liked playing hearts, so I could program a hearts game and put it on the internet, and I didn't have to go through, a game publisher or anything. I could just publish it. So I did. I worked on a little thing during Christmas break called Springer Span Games. It was just really stupid site. People could play hearts, checkers, chess, backgammon with each other. But they were chatting with each other. It was pretty. I really enjoyed doing it, and like I was able to, as a programmer, a lot of you are programmers. You get this real. I don't know how to explain it. It's just joy of craftsmanship, of building something that's good, that's better than the other guy's thing, and and you have people using it. So I launched my site, and I had hundreds of people coming in and enjoying themselves playing hearts. I felt really good about myself. But what happened? Well, I failed. I was trying to do grad school and run a multiplayer gaming service, and it turned out that it was just harder to do than I thought it would be. So I sold out to Yahoo. I planned to go back to grad school after I kind of spent 3 months helping Yahoo. But after 3 months at Yahoo, there were enough cool people at Yahoo that I really liked, that seemed to be kind of on the same page as me, and we were worried about AOL monopolizing things at the time, so it seemed like a great thing, and they seemed like they really needed me, so I dropped out of grad school. So I'm at Yahoo now. So you younger kids here probably don't know about this, but Yahoo was actually the top dog for many years, at least 2 or 3 years. They had a search directory. They started out just connecting publishers to their audience with the directory. That's what Yahoo was. So they had, instead of a search engine, they had a directory of sites that was hand edited. Over the years, Yahoo de-emphasized that, and they were like, well, we'll just own all the we'll try to own all the important content. We'll try to own all the important apps that you would use. And so it kind of became shittier and shittier over time. And I kind of do see Yahoo as one of the key places where adware became a thing, and that's where software developers started giving away their software for free, with the idea that it would be advertiser supported. Well, what does that mean? That means that you put all sorts of data mining into your software, and you're not actually building your software for your users. You're building the software to sell your users to advertisers. So it was, very schizophrenic at Yahoo. We had people who really wanted to do a good job and for the users, but then, at the end of the day, who's writing the checks? Well, the advertiser writing the checks. So I'm out of there in 2004. At the time, we were looking at Google, and they're like, oh, wow, like, at least some of us were looking at Google and like, hey, they actually kind of seem like they're doing the right thing. I like these Google guys better than I like the executives of my own company. And they had "Don't be evil," so I kind of figure, well, I'm quitting Yahoo. I could go work at Google. I was actually instructed not to work at Google when I quit Yahoo by the executives at Yahoo. That's kind of how anti-competitive things can get. And I mean, when I say instructed, I kind of owed them. So, and also I kind of didn't want to start over. But and they were mostly just a search engine connecting publishers to their audience. So again, anybody can publish. And the auctioning the keywords, it seems pretty fair. It seemed like a kind of a decent situation. So I just kind of like enjoyed watching like the internet in 2005, 2006. Time Magazine declared you to be the person of the year, and it was all about users really publishing content. Wikipedia was one of the best sites on the internet. YouTube was coming up. It seemed like good things were happening. But so what happened though, it didn't really work out that well over, as well as I had hoped. So, what do we have now? We have app stores now. So as a programmer, I need Apple's permission, or I need Google's permission to get I can't just publish a game site like I did in 1997. I have to get permission from a big company. We have blatant privacy violations based on the adware model. We have opaque recommendation algorithms that have been, that are very, very far removed. Who knows who's in charge of these recommendation algorithms anymore? And they're very much very far removed from the original, creators of these platforms. And they're very far removed from the engineers who, take YouTube for example. They were told, "Don't be evil," was going to be their company mantra, and then then they changed it. So. I think you had a little bait of switch going on there. You just kind of have anti-competitive platforms. You can't, you can do what you want in the app stores if you don't compete with the app store. And then, we have just blatant censorship happening based on the country you're in. You get varying levels of censorship. It's soft censorship, hard censorship. It's possible now. So that's not what the internet was. It wasn't. It's not everyone can publish. So Okay, so here we are, 2024. Well, engineers are the ones who built all this stuff, and my sense is engineers mostly are maybe I'm wrong, but I think engineers mostly are kind of like me. They love building good software. They love having people use their software. It makes them feel good when they, prove themselves. I'm a competitive guy, so when I write software, I'm looking at the other person writing software and like, well, mine's better, stuff like that. There's a product, you can take that all the way to the product. So Futo's here to be a home for engineers who can help us fix these problems. And I don't think it takes that many. These companies, if you take an example like WhatsApp, there were probably 5 important engineers at WhatsApp when they got acquired by Facebook for $16 billion. So that's an outlier, but it doesn't take that many engineers to build this stuff well. It just takes a focus, and it does take the really good engineers. I will say that. Like, you can't just take any engineers and have them build this stuff. So, okay. So that's Futo. So anyway, I talked about publishing. Well, anyone can publish, but there's actually kind of a flaw here. Who is publishing? So the internet is actually not that great. If you kind of think about it, computers can publish, but there's nothing in any of the kind of the base internet protocols about identity. So we have your phone number or your email or your YouTube channel or your X username. All those things are your identity, and that means that a company owns your identity, and that means that you can be controlled by the company. And it's typically soft control, but it is control, especially on the social media platforms. So, and I guess I would just say it didn't have to be this way. Public-private key cryptography was invented in the 1970s. When I started at Yahoo, I was using SSH. So we as engineers were using our private key on our own computer to authenticate with our servers in the 90s. But yet today, even still, correct me if I'm wrong, I think at least with our GitLab, if I'm using the browser, I can't use my private key in the browser. I have to do some weird stuff. So that's basically what I want to do with that is, identity is actually, I think it's one of the fundamental things that we have to solve to, fix these problems. Again, it's not that hard. These things were invented. It does take a great engineer to do these, and luckily we have a great engineer here at Futo, Harpo, and he's kind of developing the details of the identity system that we feel is the right one to free us from big tech. So I'll pass it on to Harpo.